everyone. It's Pri here, and welcome back to my channel. Today, I am joined by. Introduce yourself.
Hi, everybody. I am Scooter Lamont, and I'm glad to be here today.
Thank you so much for joining me. So, I know that I'm late. Normally, I upload the video the day after the show airs, but I know, should I tell them what happened? I'm gonna tell them.
I guess
We
you can't tell
recorded,
them.
we recorded a whole live for like 45 minutes doing the review of the video, and it was perfect, but for some reason I couldn't save the video, and so when I exited out, it deleted. And so Scooter so graciously agreed to re-record with me, so I appreciate you so much for agreeing to record with me. So this is our second time doing this video, but that's okay. It's going to be just as good as the first one. This week's episode, basically, it opened up with everything that can go wrong, goes wrong with the show. And I want to ask you, you've been a recording artist yourself, which we will get into you later on, but you being a recording artist and being a part of a group, is it normal for everything to go wrong before a live show?
It definitely is because you're already nervous, and you of course, as the artist, you want everything to be perfect. And so when it doesn't seem like everything is perfect, so as an artist, it is very frustrating on either the day of the performance or the final rehearsal, whatever that is, or the dress rehearsal. It's very frustrating when things don't go all the way you want them to go. So it is normal for everything to kind of go haywire when you're trying to prepare, because you want everything to be perfect.
Yeah.
And a lot of times it's not. Sometimes you're so in your head that you miss cues, you miss different things, and it just seems like it's not going to work. But most of the time, it works out fine.
Yeah, and that's kind of what ended up happening here. Everything ended up being fine, but everybody was kind of freaking out. We saw Kiwi have her breakdown. But like you said, you want to do well, so your nerves are already high, your anxiety is high, and things just, you start freaking out. But in the end, everything always ends up being okay. So before the performance, because we're going to get there, Cedar asked the ladies, do you finally feel like a cohesive group? Now, I don't feel like they ever really became a real group. Not a unique group that have their own sound and look. They were basically just Cherish again, just Cherish 2.0. But let me ask you, do you feel like they ever really became a cohesive group?
So I feel like they were on their way to be a group, but I think they spent so much time arguing, so much with the drama, so many people leaving the group, that
Oh
they
my
never
God,
actually
yes.
got to a cohesive place where it was like, okay, this is a group. So I think they were on their way, but they didn't really make it there for me. So
Were you surprised by basically half of the women in the house leaving?
you know what? I was not surprised. Well, was a little bit. I would say I wasn't surprised, but I was a little disappointed in the fact that the women left, because watching it from the beginning of the show, I just intended on everybody being there at the final performance. And so in all the, I guess in other reality shows, you've had things like that to happen where people would leave, but I just, for some reason, I expected for everybody to be in the finale, and when it didn't happen, I was like, I was a little damper, but it still turned out good, pretty good.
Yeah, I think they must have already had that option. Like, if you don't like it, whatever, then you can
Yeah,
leave, because a lot of, basically half of the people that was in the house did leave. And when you have that kind of idea in your back pocket, like, well, I can leave at any time, then you're not going to really give it your all to try to stick it out. And I kind of
exactly.
think that's what happened, because Aubrey left the group without no real reason like that. Like, I feel like she kind of could have hung out. Now, I understood Nivea just got extremely upset, and she said, I think she
Hmm.
said she needed to leave before she killed somebody, something like that. Or God said you was either gonna
Yeah,
go
the
to
thing is,
jail
that's it.
or
At that point, it's time to go
exactly. And Misha
or
and
go see
Iris,
someone or
they
something.
was just bullied. They were
Uh,
just bullied. So I was hoping that they kind of would have said it out, especially towards the end. I was really hoping that Nivea would have stayed, but it
yeah.
was their decision. How do you feel about their name though? blueprint.
You know what? I honestly don't think that it fit them at all.
No.
I think initially it was nice to hear when they were giving ideas and they like blueprint. And I was like, okay, everybody's agreeing to it. Of course, Aubrey wasn't there for it, so I knew she was going to have an issue with it. But it was nice to finally see them agree on something, for the most part. But I
Yeah.
don't think that it actually fit them at all. Um, um, what did I say? I think their name should be. I thought it should have been Beautiful Dysfunction because
Yes.
all the ladies are beautiful in their own right.
Yes, they are.
But the whole show, it was just a whole bunch of dysfunction. And
Absolute
so I don't
dysfunction.
think that the name really fit at all. It was like, what are they the blueprint of? Like, what are they the
Exactly.
originators of? Like, blueprint
Thank
for me
you.
represents like this is before we even start anything. This was the foundation. And for
Yes.
me, that's not the vibe that they gave off. It was more of cattiness, but we're gonna make this
Absolutely.
work. We're gonna make this happen. But I kind of want it my way. So I think something like Beautiful Dysfunction would have been a better name.
I actually like that name a lot, and I think that fits them perfectly. Definitely not the blueprint, because, like you said, when you think of blueprint, you think of the foundation, you think of people that paved the way. And I don't, when I see them, that particular group, I don't think of blueprint at all. But let's get to the concert. Let's get to the concert.
Okay.
So, I mean, they spent a lot of time talking about the wardrobe, but the wardrobe ended up being fine. I mean, styling, she called her stylist, which still kind of goes with the whole Cherish 2.0 thing. But
Cherish thing,
yeah,
exactly.
whatever. I mean, the stylist came through because the ladies, they did look like an actual group. I like the different variations of the different leather outfits. That was really cool. But
Yeah, I would have to agree.
yeah, the concert was actually the meat and potatoes of the episode. So that's why I'm just ready to get right into it. How
Okay.
did you feel about the concert overall?
You know what? The concert overall, I think it was actually really good. I loved the whole feel of it. I loved it being like outdoors, and everybody was still kind of spaced out, but it still was a concert.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I enjoyed it for the most part. I mean, I guess I can get into it a little later on what I was not pleased with, but
Yeah.
I enjoyed the overall concert. I actually was thinking that some of the older girls, or that used to be a part of the group, was going to actually be there.
That would
I
have
don't know why,
been
for some reason I did, but
that would have been really cool.
yeah, I think it would have added a little more pressure.
Especially like with the Women Empowered record, if they would have came out as like one big unified group, that would have been really
Yeah,
cool. Yeah, I was
yeah, but
impressed by.
I definitely liked it. Yeah, I definitely liked it. There were a few things that kind of was like, like when they first came out, I was like, okay, where's Pam? And it was like every song was like, okay,
you
where's Pam? And then
you
she would
know,
come out, I was like, okay, cool. But then it would go to the next segment. I'm like, where is Pam? Like,
oh my
so
god, yeah, I did not even notice that until you said that. Like, I rewatched it a second time to try to catch stuff that I
okay,
missed, and I was just like, where was Pam? I feel like she, like you said, she was headphones came out. Like, she was kind of in and out, like bouncing in and out on the sidelines, coming in. She was almost like a featured artist or like a special guest
yeah,
or something. It was kind of like, you know, when you have a musical and then you got your special guest that's gonna come and lead one song for the choir. I feel like that's kind of how she was. Like, she wasn't a part of the group at all.
yeah. And I kind of think Keely, it was important for her to actually become a part of the group, which I don't really understand why she never was. I kind of know that she probably didn't want to do it because I think if there was some things that happened in the past,
With
with
Keely,
her
yeah.
being a part of 3LW, they kind of made her a little apprehensive to be like, I'm going to join this group. But
Yeah.
if you're going to come on the show, you might as well be a part of the group.
Exactly. The
And
whole
so,
creative director thing was like, girl,
yeah,
stop.
I could understand that if she had already played that role in something that people knew, but it was
Yeah.
like you came in like, well, I'm not going to be a part of the group, but I'm be the creative. Like, who told you this? Like,
Exactly. That's
they
all.
should have showed some footage of her and the
Right.
director or something. Say, hey, would you like to be the creative director? Anything, but it came off a little weird because it's like we don't even know you for that. So,
Right. And
but
then
I
and she
definitely
was
think it
living
was
in a
important that she
house.
joined.
Like, all the outside people, the choreographer, the producers and stuff, they weren't living in the house. So
Exactly. Exactly.
I don't know. She was coming across as a little off with it too. I was really like, is she all right? Like, she really thinking she's a creative director for real. I was glad that she ended up joining the group though. I got more to say about her. I was very impressed by Keely. Like, she
Yeah,
she
I definitely
came,
was.
she showed
Yeah.
up. I want to say though, I liked, like you said, that it was outside. I liked the overall feel of the concert. It was like the way they shot it was like a in-person concert, but like on TV. Kind of like when artists they would release their concert on DVD. That's kind of the feel of it. So I didn't really know how they were going to do the concert, but I was very impressed by how they did it. It looked very well done. Like you could see the close-ups, the wide shots, you could see all the dance moves. It was
Yeah.
actually like a real concert. So I think I think it was just impressive, especially seeing all the fighting, arguing, bickering, to see them come together as a unified group, having their moves down. They were clearly lip syncing, but I think the concert overall, I was very impressed. How do you feel about them lip syncing?
Okay, so I'm glad you brought that up. That was definitely the part that I was not pleased with at all. Um, I just figured, I figured, for the faster songs or the songs that they would be doing more dancing on and things like that, that they would probably lip sync. I pretty much figured that out. But when it came to the slower songs, I was like, I actually want to hear them sing. Like, I want to see, and I guess all of that made sense to me towards the end of that one scene on stage. But from the beginning of the show, I was like, why are they not spending enough time together working on them as a group, listening to each other's vocals, learning how to blend? And that's what I'm thinking of as far as being a part of a group. Those are things that you work on harmonies, try to figure out, okay, who sings high, who's as well as singing low. But they kind of just started the show and just went right into the studio after they did their initial at the piano. Everybody go around the room and sing. It's like, okay, so now they need to sing together. But I guess it made sense in the end why they didn't do that, because they were never singing the whole time. So
Yeah, yeah, they were lip syncing the whole time, and I didn't even notice that. But I guess by you being an artist, that's something that really you'll
yes.
notice. If they had to like sing for real, like a cappella, they would not. They probably wouldn't have sounded as good at all.
Oh,
I'm sure they wouldn't have blended at all because we never saw them practice together, like singing.
and as an artist, I think it's okay to have the stems there, to have the machine behind you, to have the band, the drums, the music, whatever that is. But I also think it's important to know your parts, because anything can happen. It's technology. The
Don't I
data can
know?
be erased. Things can stop. Exactly. So I think it's important to still know your stuff and be able to produce, because anything can happen. And so, like you just said, if something was to have happened and they would have had to say, you know what, let's try this song a cappella with no music, they would have not been able to do it at all.
Yeah, I
And
agree.
I just don't think that they would have.
As far as the actual songs, though, did you like the songs?
You know what? I did like the songs. Some of it still came off a little bit like this is Cherish 2.0,
Yeah.
but but I actually enjoy hearing all of them, although it was produced vocals, and I'm
Hmm.
fine with that. But I even enjoy Keely, and prior to
Yeah.
that, I was like, what is she doing? Like, why? Because
I
I
actually
understand she hadn't
like
sang.
Kelly's voice though. Like I like the husky,
Uh,
raspy, kind of deep voice. I thought her voice was really cute, and it fit for the songs that they sang.
It definitely did. It definitely did. Because I bet that was a whole mess though, having to go back and redo everybody's vocals,
Yeah, I can
because
imagine.
it's hard enough to try to get them how you want them when you're the
Hmm.
one that have to do it, and so to go back and then re-record over
Hmm.
somebody else's stuff, like that's no joke, and it's time consuming, and you have to be spot on or you're gonna be there all night. So I'm sure they spent
Hmm.
a lot of time that was not recorded in the studio. And so
Yeah,
I actually liked her voice though on the songs. Like it worked. It meshed well with it. That was the most cohesive part of it. That they actually sounded like, okay, we got something.
yeah. I liked all the songs. I liked the faster songs better than the slower
Okay.
songs. I thought that the faster songs was kind of more in line with the music, the pop music that's out today. But
Today.
I actually
Yeah.
found myself liking all of them, even Pam's song. And I wasn't really when I was recording, I wasn't really feeling Pam's song like that. But
Um, my favorite song was "Say Something," and the reason why that was because I think it had the most impactful impact of, I guess, the light of everything that's been going on around us, and then just
hmm
showing the strength of women, and that you all bring something to the table. And so I think my favorite song, "Say Something," and it
hmm
was because it had the most impact, and I think the message of it was really strong. The visual behind them with all the different people's names on it, all the different black
hmm
women, whether it was from brutality, police brutality, or the vice president of the United States of America, like it
hmm
showed strength, and to me, it had a very impactful part to it. I like Pam's song, but the robes was a bit cheesy for me.
Oh my God! Can we talk
And
about Pam's song? I got a lot to say about
go
Pam's song,
ahead.
especially after watching it the second time. The first time I was trying to get ready for our live, but oh no, I really got to watch Pam's song. So okay, you talked about the choir robes. Now, my last video, I did a whole rant about the choir robes because I
You did.
hated the choir robes. Nobody wears choir robes. I literally have not worn a choir robe since I was like 12 or 13 at my grandpa's church. Like, I feel like, why do secular artists do that? Trying to, I guess, do what they think choirs do, but choirs don't do that. If you want to do what choirs do, this is for all the secular artists that's gonna watch my video. Let me give y'all a tidbit of advice. Choirs do not wear choir robes anymore. They wear matching colors. So a choir, they'll give you a good red, black and white combo. They may give, if it's official, they all black. If it's women's, they all white. But not, and if you really want to be fancy on musical night, they may give you a Tri City Singers African print, but not a choir robe. So please stop doing it. And then I missed it that
You know
first
what? I
time.
think it would have been better. You know how Destiny's Child, they would just wear the fitted dresses, long gown or whatever. That would have made more of a, okay, this is what this is, and then that's easy to take off. And they had
Exactly.
on. But to put a robe on, and then Pam didn't even have a robe on, so it was like, what was the
Exactly. Oh
purpose
my
of them
God.
coming
And
out in this
then
robe?
the robes were not even choir robes. I didn't even realize that until I watched it the second time. It was like they were like cheap, cheesy, like you know when kindergartens graduate to go to first
Mm-hmm.
grade and like you have half the class in the black robe and then half the class in the red robe. Those are
Yep.
the type of robes. They don't black kindergarten
Graduation
graduation robes.
robes.
Like if you're going to give me a choir robe, which I really don't want, if you're going to give me a choir robe, I need the real heavy Mississippi Mass Choir cross on the shoulder robe. If you're going to give me a robe, don't be coming out here with this cheap kindergarten robe material. No, I hated those robes. And then I know I'm going on the rant, but I watched it again. I'm just like, I cannot believe I missed this. Pam song.
Did you like
Now,
her choreography at the beginning?
no, I did not like the praise dance. I did not like the praise dance. It was very cheesy. I'm sorry, but I did not like it. They sang Pam's song. Pam's song was, the worship. You're the God of heaven. You're Jehovah Jireh, my provider. I love you. I need you in my life. And then 2 seconds later, they up there dry humping the couch. I was like, ma'am, give me a transition. What are
Hey,
y'all
that's why Pam said
doing?
I'm not gonna be out there for all of these songs because I already know where y'all trying to go. I'm not gonna say all what y'all want me to say, and I'm definitely not gonna do the dances.
Look,
So she said she got a 1-2, and that's all she got.
look, at first I was like, how come they went out there? But I get it. Like they needed a transition. It was too much. I'm like, hold on now. Y'all done took it first y'all done took it to church, now y'all done took it to the club. Like, come on, we need a smooth transition. I think maybe they should have did Pam song and then say something, since that was kind of along the inspirational type of vibe.
Mm-hmm.
But to be like in deep worship and then they grinding on the floor. Like, no, I was not. It's not it. It's not it at
Oh yeah,
all.
Keely showed out when it came to those songs.
Keely
She took.
showed
I don't even
out.
remember the Cherish Girls being up there. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Oh my god,
The
me
focus
either.
was on Keely doing all this humping on the floor and
Yeah.
dancing. It was hilarious. But I was like, yeah, she should have been a part of this group.
Yeah, I have to say that Keely was a performer. Like my eyes zero in on her. She was a star, like hands
Yeah.
down, absolutely a star. She did her thing on that stage. She did her thing. I gotta give it to her. Everything, just my eyes. Like, and Shamari did good too. But like the twins, for all of that the twins was giving, they didn't show up on stage like that. Especially, I don't know if you remember the first episode. One of them was like, "My sister, she just became a millionaire today." Like, but that don't mean you can perform because obviously, I don't even really remember them for real. Like, they were not memorable at all. But I really like the song. I like the song a lot. Um,
Yeah. The songs turned out really good.
yeah. So you would say Keely probably stood out to you the most on stage.
Yeah, even look wise, like she looked like the star. Like I think she
Yeah.
had the overall best like wardrobe, hair, and dance moves. Like she showed up. You know how you get ready for something, but she showed up for it. And like the other girls, they were just like okay to me. And then the Cherish Girls, they can sing. Don't get me wrong, I'm not hating on them at all, but they have okay voices to me. They have the average voice that you would hear from definitely like an R&B pop singer. So
Yeah, they do. They do. I'm not a fan of that particular type of singing. It's kind of like talking singing, but yeah, their voice is definitely what you hear in today's music. They
yeah,
said something though. They said when they were performing, they were saying like, "We wish the other girls was here, but we're on that stage representing them." But that's a lie. That's a bold-faced lie because if you think about earlier in the season, they were trying to split the groups up into two
they
groups.
were.
They had the older
They
set and
definitely
the
were.
younger set. So in the end, they actually got what they wanted.
They definitely did.
Yeah, I wish Nivea had stayed. I feel like Nivea probably would have fit in with them the most. And Aubrey too. I think since they were lip syncing, Iris and Misha, they probably would have been able to hang
Yeah,
too
they would.
because they
They
were lip
because
syncing.
let me tell you this: producers are like magicians. They can take something if they're good at what they do. They can take something that's out of tune, that sounds bad, and when they get done manipulating it, they can make it sound like something.
I didn't know they
So
could do all of that.
definitely, yeah. If a producer is really good, don't get me wrong, some stuff just has to be cut over. But if they're really good at what they do, they can take something that sounds bad and make it sound like something.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're like magicians. They can make it. They can pull it out of hat.
Okay, I didn't know. I thought you had to have something for them to work with. I didn't know they could take something that sound bad and make it sound
Oh
good.
yeah, because in there you can literally like say you were singing something and you were flat, you can literally go in there and hit that part of it and either move it up or move it down or yeah,
Oh, and
it's
so put you
oh
on
yeah,
key.
oh yeah.
Oh,
And then you
wow.
have auto tune as well, but auto tune does not always correct everything. So sometimes they have to go in there and because sometimes the way you breathe can make something go sharp or flat
Hmm.
or any of
Hmm.
that. So yeah, producers if they know what they're doing, they definitely can fix all of that. So Misha and Iris, they would have been fine.
They would,
Now what
yeah.
was funny was when Shamari said that Sham, Misha had the highest soprano voice. I was like, what? She had a. I'm like,
She said
what?
a
What do you
true
mean? The
soprano.
true soprano, right?
A
That's what she said.
true. I'm like,
I
a
said,
true?
really?
Like, do you know what a
I didn't
true
gather
soprano
that.
is? Not, I wouldn't say a true, like, not from what we heard maybe back in the day. Because I did see a
Yeah.
clip back in the day where they could sing and they sounded really good. They were singing a cappella. So probably back in the day. But I think whatever notes that Misha could hit, Shamari, she would be able to hit them too. Because she sounds like a true
You know
soprano to
what?
me.
When it comes to Shamari, I think she's a little insecure about her vocals or her ability. and I think she does better than what she probably thinks she can.
Yeah.
And so I think that's kind of either that is where that comment came from, or she was actually listening to their old music and was like, "Oh, she's a true soprano," because when she presented on the show, unless they didn't record something that happened there, that didn't resonate with me, and I'm sure with the other listeners too. So when she said true soprano.
Exactly. Now today I did actually listen to the songs, and I was severely underwhelmed. They did not hit at all. Like when I watched the concert live, I liked the songs, but listening to them, I was just like, I think maybe the dance moves, the lights, all of that, you know,
the attitude.
Yeah, all of that helped the songs. But just listening to them, I was just like, I don't know. Do you think any of these songs would be a song that you would, you know, casually listen to?
I would have to say no. for a couple reasons. One, it's not particularly the style of music that I listen to, which I'm open to different styles of music. So I listen to different styles of music. But it's hard for me to get with the new R&B stuff because, like you said, a lot of it is like talk singing, and it does nothing for me. But I guess I would give it a second listen, but I can't see me. I don't know, because you know how when we were growing up, you know how we were growing up on the radio, it may have been a song that you didn't like, but they played it so much that it became something that you actually listen to. So things are a little different now because we have things like Apple Music and YouTube and Spotify. So you don't have to actually sit there and listen to something you don't want to listen to. But if it was like on the radio and I constantly had to hear it, I probably would start to like them.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's a very fair assessment. I just got one more thing I want to ask you before we go.
Okay.
Now, we both agreed that Keely rocked it. She was the winner of the night. She was the star of the group. What I want to know is, if you were to see Keely out and about, would you ask her for her autograph? You know, she said,
I don't even know.
People ask me for my autograph.
That's why I say she really had some traumatic experiences with 3LW and probably even the Cheetah Girls, because I don't know anybody in today's time that would be like, oh my God, that's Keely, I need to get her autograph. Like,
exactly. And I know I would. 3LW and the Cheetah Girls, and I wouldn't.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. I was a real fan, but
I occasionally watched Cheetah Girls, but I wasn't really into 3LW like that. I heard a couple of the songs, but I think I probably seen more Cheetah Girls because it was on Disney Channel.
Right, exactly.
More than I did 3LW, but even so, I don't see myself running up to her like, oh my God, I need to get your autograph. Can you please sign my autograph? Like,
exactly. That's why I was like,
so when she said that, I was like, huh? Like, who's still doing this? Like, half of the people didn't even remember who she was. Like,
exactly.
Especially compared to how she used to look, and now it's like, oh, that's the same person. So they probably wouldn't even recognize her, but you know.
Right, probably wouldn't. Especially seeing her out and about. I mean, you probably just think she was just any old woman out and about. So I just thought that was really funny, and that I had to ask you. But thanks again for joining me. We talked about this whole episode. Thanks again for agreeing to re-record this video. Definitely. It was just as good as the first one, just as funny as the first one, and let the people know how they can find you and how they can support you.
All right, so again, my name is Scooter Lamont. I hope you all have enjoyed this video. I definitely want to say thank you, Pri, for allowing me to be a part of what your platform and what you're doing on here. But my name is Scooter Lamont, and if you all want to reach me, whether that's book me for an event, a service, or anything, I do sing gospel music. I'm a part of a group named Phase 2 that we've been singing. We're still together, but I'm also doing my own thing, and I'm also a part of Cedric Shannon Reeves and the Brothers, and we're actually getting ready to release some music in, I believe, October, some album. But I've also been working on my own thing as well. So if you want to reach me, you can reach me on all platforms, whether that's Facebook, Instagram, I believe Twitter, all those, and YouTube under Scooter Lamont. If you type that in, I will show up. I will pop up on Facebook. You can either get me on my personal page, or I want you to go to my business page and like it. My music page is Scooter Lamont Music. So if you type that in, you'll get a chance to see some of the things that I've been doing, some of the merch that I have. I have T-shirts and other things, and towels and all those things that you all can purchase from me. Also, my single that is out is called "Don't Quit." So if you type in Scooter Lamont "Don't Quit," you'll be able to see that and listen to that. And you all heard me give a little commentary about their singing ability and their voices. Leave some on my page and tell me what you think of the song, or even my ability. So
absolutely,
that's it for me. I also do a podcast. I don't want to forget that. I do a podcast with my brother. His name is Carl Davis, and the name of our podcast is Man Me Too. MANNNMETOO. So it's geared towards men. We go through things, and we don't always verbalize those things. We don't always release those things, and some of us don't even feel like we have a safe place to release those things. So we have a podcast, a show that's geared towards men actually expressing themselves. We don't come there acting like we know everything, but we come to simply open up the conversation and have the conversation, and give men a platform where they can speak out on issues, and women listen in too. Sometimes they share with their cousins, their brothers, their boyfriends, or whoever. But we have some serious topics that we talk about. So we come on every first and third Thursday of the month. So be on the lookout for that. Again, that's Man Me Too. I am Scooter Lamont, and again, Pri, I want to thank you so much for allowing me to be a part of your platform, and I wish you nothing but more success than what you've already achieved now, and I'm excited to see where you go from here.
All right, so I will see you later. Bye.